If it's all right, I would like to uh, do a little something different today. Uh, it comes off of you remember when you the program on Reverend C.L. Franklin on Black Power? Okay. Well, I listened to, like when you pull it up, it's about, man, it was discoveries, all the lectures on there, dry bones in the valley, Ezekiel's wheel. Look, man, now I know where not only was Aretha the queen of soul, whatever, but her father was the king of black preaching because I have Message to the Black Man, plus I used to get the paper all the time. The Centerfold, Ezekiel's Wheel, Dry Bones in the Valley, you know, all of that. Every lecture that Elijah Muhammad made came off of half of all the titles I saw. I said, man, the lamb is cold. He knocked over. Look, and anyway, uh, remember we talk about a history all the time. So what I want to do today is go back to a part of that history up to the Black Power movement and on to Black Power, Black Nationalists, and then to Islam. So in order to do that, I just play a few little things, if it's all right. Yeah. Are we ready?
Yes, it's live and ready.
Oh, okay.
Are you showing a video?
No. You just be able to hear it. I just want y'all to be patient while you hear this stuff. Let's see. This is Old Ship of Zion, and I'm going through. And of course, Precious Lord, which we won't pray that. Last year, when I was preparing to go abroad, can y'all hear that? I thought one time that I would go by way of boat. But I decided, since my time is limited, that I ought to fly. And when we were about to get on board of the ship, some official gave all the passengers a little pamphlet, a little folder with the names of the pilots and the names of the stewardess and the names of the whole crew. I read those names with a lot of interest. I wanted to know the man that we should never be. And I wanted to know the stewardess that was going to be watching over me while I made my way on that land. And I read it because I was interested to know whose hand I was in. And I want to tell you, on the old ship of Zion, they have crew. And I'd like to tell you who the head of the crew is and what his name is. See, I know some of the youngsters probably. Did you ever go to any church or anything? But it was a modern, you young, it was modern. It was modern, The Did they sound like this? Just like this. Yeah. Oh, you mean the brothers? Oh, down there, yeah. I went in that church because that church right there, you have to have a certain amount of parking spaces. So we don't have them. So we went down and had them sign our thing that we could use it. We never used it. Their parking lot. And so when I went in there, they got a picture of people going down to the river to get back. I said, man, that took me back when people, see, people now at church, they got a pool or something. And when I went to California, I saw behind the Limbaugh, it was a pool of water with a little waves on it. I said, I wonder what that's for. I know that because, see, everybody ride them wagons, these big pipe robes. They would go down to the, everybody went to the river to get baptized. I couldn't figure out what it was. I said, I know that's not to get baptized. This the old ship of Zion. You understand why I wanted to see the old time black people, when you mention Zion, this is what they think of. There ain't no danger in the water. The old ship of Zion. So a lot of people are wasting a whole lot of time trying to convince black people of that generation about Zionism. Because all they can think of is the old ship of Zion. There ain't no danger in the water. That's the boat you get on. The old ship of Zion. And the captain ain't no danger in the water. That's what they're talking about. I just play a little bit of this a little bit and then I'll stop. I'm going through it. Pay the price. Whatever they do, don't make no difference. Oh, she's cutting up. Okay, this is the title today is The Old Ship of Zion, and I just wanted people to hear those rhythms. Those are rhythms from not the late 40s, but that's Aretha Franklin's father. That's why the next thing on there is Precious Lord that she sang. girl, throw down the Queen of Soul. But anyway, if you watch the television about Aretha Franklin, they'll have her father. He's almost a drunkard, a playboy preacher type. And see, when we understand our history, like if Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King, all of them, if they have a little something on the side, they're a preacher. And we expect that because that's a part of what they do. You know, one of my friends, I got a lot of friends as preachers, but one of them, a real good preacher from Texas, he was talking about, well, they go visit the hospital and stuff like that. And so I asked him about the tenders. I said, what's that? He said, oh, Mr. Hank, good Lord Almighty. Oh, in other words, that's a big challenge. Now, he was a happily married preacher. In fact, his wife passed away years ago. And he's a much older, anyway. But the way he said it, it reminds you of the hadith that the greatest test that Allah left behind for men was women. So in our culture, we don't hold it. You never hear of a preacher getting fired because he messed with somebody or something like that. In fact, when you look out there, the front row is always sisters with short dresses on. Yes, they are, no matter what you say. And then some of the people get the Holy Ghost because, now look, I imagine that maybe 30 or 40% of those people really get hit with, because when the preacher get in a cadence, we have to remember from the 60s on back, even the 60s was a little bit of it. But when you talk about the early 50s, 40s, 1900s, and all of that, church was the only outlet. And the reason is the rhythm and the chants and everything is so common. You could go to a black church, I don't care where you go, but you're going to get almost the same thing. And in those days, you have to remember in segregation, you don't have to ask nobody about no white church. They said they got the hymnals there and they singing something or other, But they not, you could tell when the preacher might be talking about the children of Israel in the white church and Moses and going across the sea in bondage. But the black church, they visualize. That's their whole makeup was that Bani Israel, right? Musa alayhi salam rescued them. And so when they sang Go Down Moses way down in Egypt land, tell old Pharaoh, let my people go, they can visualize all that. They can smell it. In fact, that's probably why the song was so popular for so many years. And all of that stuff about crossing over Jordan, all that stood on the banks of Jordan, all of that stuff was the church. This lady got the Holy Ghost. I mean, every Sunday, generally, If the preacher got to preaching, he was preaching good, somebody got the Holy Ghost. There's no doubt about it. And pretty soon it might become a ritual, like when I hit this note, then you jump up and start hollering. But that was, just imagine that everything surrounding you is oppressive. You are a maid, or you're picking cotton, or you're on a chain gang. Next week I'll play some of the chain gang rhythms. That old slave rhythm was in everything we did. And some of it is still around, but we just don't, you know what I mean, we don't pick it up. Those of those generations know exactly what it is. In fact, it affects you to the point that if this